Judge Torres just gave her most recent ruling, and you're gonna be pissed. The crypto bill delayed until 2026. Oh, crap, you gotta hear this update. Some of our favorite cryptos are starting to crash yet again. Do you got cash ready to buy, or are you done with buying the dip? We'll talk our favorite XRP price along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Oh, and look at BITCOIN, down 13% in the last 24 hours. Render down 5%, and I can't wait to read the comments. Bro, Torres is the best thing that ever happened for XRP. No, that's not true at all, because homegirl is delaying to make herself look good. Wait until you see the ruling she just gave. But before we get into the crypto news, like crypto bill being delayed until 2026, oh, that's not good, everyone. Your comments come first, because you, the viewer, matter most. It says, my bad feeling is that this case is headed to the Supreme Court. I guess she thinks they, the Ripple SEC, can't overturn the total of the fine by their agreement. Gotta finish the appeal. Manny Gamin says, you think they telling Torres to delay on purpose to manipulate the price so they can keep the price down? Oh, this ain't good. We're down 3.25% for XRP right now. We'll talk price action at the end, everyone. Ramon Gutierrez says Torres is getting paid by Swift and companions due to the fear they have of losing the market. Are banks what's keeping the price down, everyone? Look at Sweet down deep in the red, down 5% right now. Yo, no one is happy. Lawrence Williams, who hangs out with us in the chat, says Judge Torres has turned into a super asshole. I agree. Tell me this. What case out there where you have both sides have come to an agreement after years and years of battling, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars being spent, thousands of labor hours being spent, both sides come to an agreement, and yet the judge is like, no, I ain't down with this. Axolot Life Aquatic says Torres is morphing into Gensler. What the I used to love her, but like most relationships, the tides are turning. Bitcoin sitting at 107,412, ETH is 2444, BNB at 645, Souls at 143, XRP at 212. We're going to talk price action at the end, while XLM is at 23.6. H-bar, we're talking about discount action. Yep, 14.5. Picoin, rough. Render, rough. Tau, rough. Ooh, it is getting bad, everyone. We've got softness. We're talking about the crypto bill being delayed. Oh, this is not good. Loomis is sending us some insight. Here's what she said. Speaking at the Bitcoin Policy Institute Summit in Washington, Loomis emphasized that while Europe and Singapore already have crypto regs, the U.S. is still behind. This is what she said. I mean, it's still we're late, aren't we? Compared to some countries in the rest of the world, it's sorely needed. Europe is regs, Singapore is regs, but they're not exactly tailored to what more robust U.S. economy style of regs are. Now, I'm not saying we combine them. She's talking about stablecoin regs and regs for the rest of the market, but they both need to pass this year. I know there's some enthusiasm at the White House for having Congress send them in a win for the area of stablecoins. The White House is ahead of us. They've already passed the Genius Act. There's real excitement that the White House can see Congress send them something, sign it, especially around stablecoins. But here's the problem, everyone. The House is not cool with a clean passage of the Genius Act. So that means they might modify it. If they modify it, that then goes back to the Senate for them to do what, everyone? To then vote on it again. Here's the problem. The Clarity Act, that's the one that deals with the rest of crypto, right? Not stablecoins. That is having some problems in the House right now, gaining support. Then, if that's having problems in the House, you sure as hell know it's going to have problems in the Senate. So does this mean that we might not have crypto regs until 2026? This is a massive, massive problem. All eyes now are on the U.S. House of Representatives, which must decide whether to incorporate the Genius Act into the broader digital asset market clarity framework or advance it independently. Now, as soon as I get updates for you, I will bring them to you. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Now, let's get into Torres and XRP Ripple news. Here you go, Eleanor Tourette. I got her information linked in the description below. You want one of the best crypto reporters out there? Homegirl's got your back. Her Twitter info, yeah, in the ball bag down there. Just in, Judge Torres has denied the Ripple and SEC joint motion for an indicative ruling, basically an expedited ruling. No, Torres is like, I don't care if both sides agree. We're going to delay this bitch even more, for real. Check it out. Breaking news, massive blow to Ripple and the SEC as the judge denies the ruling. In her ruling, Judge Torres emphasized that the court ruling served the public, not just the litigants. Fuck you, Torres. The public wants this to be over with. Both sides want this to be over with. We know that the SEC was overreaching. Now the new regime of the SEC says, yo, we know that the rules are changing. We know that the regs are changing. We want this case to be settled. We've pretty much settled every other freaking case in the SEC. We want it over, and yet Torres is like, no. I want to be in the spotlight. I want to look important. The judge pointed out that the SEC itself previously stressed the need for harsher penalties against Ripple due to its reckless and egregious violations that lasted for 8 years. Earlier, the agency stated that Ripple would continue violating the law, and the judge recalled that in her ruling. None of this has changed, and the parties hardly pretend that it has. Nevertheless, they now claim that it's in public interest to cut the civil penalty by 60% and vacate the permanent injunction entered less than a year ago. Lady, you know what changed? A lot. We have a huge shift in public policy. We have a huge shift in the public view of crypto. We have a huge shift in what people voted for. Yeah, guess what? You've got now the Senate passing the Genius Act. You've got a bunch of people out there in the SEC, the FDIC, the SEC, you name it, that are now more pro-crypto. It's like this. Do you remember when cannabis was very negatively looked at, and then all of a sudden the federal government was like, look, hey, states, we're going to let you do it. Yeah, and then the federal government backed off. This is exactly what's happening here. The tides are changing, and yet Torres is like, no, none of this has changed, and the parties hardly pretend it has. Nevertheless, they now claim that it isn't in the public interest to cut the penalty. It is. The majority of the public out there is now pro-crypto. The majority of the public knows what crypto is. They're cool with crypto. They're invested with crypto. Hell, I did a story earlier today about the FHFA saying, yo, we now agree that crypto will be considered assets usable for mortgages. Oh my gosh, we just saw Circle, an IPO about a crypto stablecoin that is absolutely roaring on the stock market. Oh my God, JP Morgan Chase and a whole bunch of others out there are going to be launching their own crypto stablecoins. Oh my gosh, crypto adoption is growing and booming. Lady, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, granted, a bunch of knob gobblers and Torres maxis are going to be like, bro, Torres is the best thing ever. No, Torres is now holding up XRP SEC Ripple progress. This is bad, everyone. XRP network activity nosedives 70% as payment activity collapses. This isn't good either. You know what else isn't good? How about price action going down? Look at XRP going down. Yeah, this isn't good either. And the Torres action sure as shit isn't helping. But bro, Torres said that XRP isn't a security. Guess what? A bunch of other judges don't give a shit about that ruling. Guess what? That ruling doesn't mean anything because we don't have regs. So again, what Torres said sucks ass because you know what we need? We need regs. That's why I brought up in the beginning, Loomis talking about, yo, we don't know how long it's going to take to get these regs going. It might be 2026. So Torres is delaying. So Homegirl could be in the spotlight because we all know as soon as this case is over, she's never going to get another high profile case like this that's going to put her in the spotlight in front of everyone else like this. Homegirl is grandstanding and she's saying what? This is in the best interest of the public. The public wants this case over with. We don't want to use taxpayer dollars anymore to fund an SEC case that both sides agree on. Come on now. You know what's in the best interest of the public? Settle this case just like you have every other freaking case at the SEC and let's move on. Sadly though, XRP price right now is starting to pull down. You can see that in the one-day chart. Look at the 7-day chart. Yeah, we had some movement on up from a little bit of Middle East positivity action, but now we're starting to slide on down to the downside. Volume 2.7 billion. Let's go to those candlesticks, 15-minute variety, and you can see what? Yeah, we're in the friend zone. That's where you're at right now at the $2.12 mark. You want sub $2 XRP, you just got to be patient. We might be getting there again sometime soon. But right now the big story is what? Judge Torres has denied the Ripple SEC joint motion for an indicative ruling, dragging this shit out even longer, even though we got more people that are pro-crypto. Congress on both sides of the aisle is pro-crypto. They're both working to pass regs, and yet Torres says, no, I don't think this serves the public interest, even though the public is pro-crypto. So maybe Torres was the best thing for XRP when she ruled it not a security. But now that we've got regs in the pipeline, and now that she's delaying this thing more and more and more, she's the worst thing for this. Why? Both sides have agreed. We've got a tide that is heavily shifted here in Los Estados Unidos, the United States, for those of you that do not speak Espanol. And yet here she is saying this doesn't serve the public interest. Yes, it does. Because you know what? We're blowing through taxpayer dollars. We're holding up a case where both sides agree. We've seen a huge shift in both the House and the Senate. The voting public is more pro-crypto. Yeah, you've got people from both sides of the aisle that are like, yeah, we're cool with crypto. We just have to figure out the nuts and bolts of this thing and we're going to be able to pass it. So what is she doing? You know what she's doing. She's trying to stay at the center of attention. Because as soon as this case is over, Torres who? Torres what? Torres ain't going to be in the spotlight anymore. So homegirl is sitting here as if she's high on the throne, high on the pedestal. I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what's best in the interest of the public because the public needs to be protected. Lady, the laws and rules are changing. We have drafts of stablecoin regs and crypto regs right now in both sides of Congress, right? We got it in the Senate and we got it in the House. And yet you're sitting here going, no, this doesn't serve the public. Even though the public is pro-crypto now. Yeah. So, keyboard warriors down below, if you want to do the whole, Torres is the best thing for crypto ever. Maybe she was when she ruled that Torres isn't a security. But you know what? That was then. This is now. And that whole Torres security thing, that's old news. But right now, the delay of this screws things up even more. Because every other freaking case that the SEC has gone after, they've gone after Binance, they went after CZ, they went after Kraken, they went after Gemini, they went after all these other players and they've dismissed all these freaking cases. Oh, what about the Hex guy? Yeah, they went after him too. That was thrown out. And yet here we are. Torres is the only one digging her heels in. Because for some reason, that's in the best interest of public. But with Hex and all that, that wasn't. With Binance and CZ, that wasn't. Come on now, everyone. Torres, she's grandstanding. And right now, you know who's suffering? XRP holders are suffering. So, you want to know who's really to blame now for hurting XRP? It's Torres and her grandstanding dumbass. Frustrating. By the way, you starting to notice more softness price action-wise with our favorites out there? Yeah, the market is definitely showing some softness. So you know what I'm doing? I'm starting to lower my price targets a little bit. My buy zones are starting to come down a bit more. Why? Because we're starting to get into them a little bit more frequently. Which means what? Market softness. And when you got market softness that's happening a little bit more frequently, well, then it's not as soft, is it? It's becoming normal. So I'm adjusting my targets a little bit more to the south side. Oh, like the White Sox. There you go, south side pride. That being said, there is a big silver auction happening tonight. I've got a lot of money put to the side because I did not get the Circle IPO. I also might be doing a little bit of crypto shopping here the next few days because market softness seems to be the key. BTC dominance is happening. We might have to wait till 2026 for crypto regs. Fuck, we might have to wait till 2026 till Torres gets off her fucking fat ass and does something with the case. I don't know. I just bring you the news. I don't make the news. Don't shoot the messenger. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo biznachos. And biznachas for the ladies. And for the people that identify as blue-haired giraffes, choo-choo blue-haired giraffes. I don't know. Torres pissed me off today.